Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'm Vanessa and I make bookish and writing related content. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around and hit that subscribe button. So today I'm going to be doing another discussion video. And what I wanted to talk about today is writing diverse characters versus own voices story. I think for some people, especially writers, it can get kind of confusing. And I've heard comments like this where someone will say, they tell us to write diverse characters, but then when we write diverse characters, they tell us don't write it if it's not your story to tell. And so I kind of want to talk about this. So I think there is a huge difference between writing diverse characters and writing an own voices story. And I'll give you examples of both so you can kind of see the difference. But basically, having diverse characters in your book just means that you have characters of all different cultures and backgrounds. Whereas a book that is own voices is more about that character's particular and unique experience within that culture or background. So I'm in a sci-fi fantasy writers group on Facebook, and one of the admins on there, his name is Jonas, he has a blog where he talks about this specific topic, especially in terms to when it comes to writing queer characters versus queer stories. So I'll leave a link to his blog post down below. You guys can check it out. But I wanted to kind of share one quick quote from his blog that I think helps explain this a little bit better. And in his blog post, he says, a cisgender heterosexual person shouldn't write a story about coming out as a bisexual trans woman because that takes away someone's voice and talks over them. However, a cisgender heterosexual person can definitely write a story about a bisexual transgender woman who slays dragons. So as long as the story is about something other than her personal experience as either a trans woman or a bi person. This is not to say that her being bi can't have an impact on the story. Maybe there is a love triangle between a masculine woman and a femme guy that she can't decide between, or some combination of, including in bi, non-binary people. There are lots of ways that someone's experiences may impact them on a smaller scale and not be the plot of the story. So I think the way he explains that kind of, I hope, helps a little bit. Like I said, I will leave his blog post link down below. But I also wanted to share with you guys a couple examples of books that are that feature diverse characters versus own voices. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Diviner series by Libba Bray. You guys know I absolutely love the series. If you've been on my channel before, you know I've talked about it. And this series takes place in New York, 1920s New York. And if you know New York, you know it's a place full of all different cultures and backgrounds. So in this series, we have characters that are white, black, Asian, Jewish, Catholic, gay, lesbian, even asexual and disabled characters within the story. So it's got a pretty good diverse cast of characters. Now, while we do get a very diverse group of characters, the story itself isn't about the characters' sexuality or race, sexual orientation, or disability or religion. It's not about any of that. It's a paranormal murder mystery. At least the first book is. Kind of evolves a little bit after the first one. But that's what the story is. It has nothing to do with any of the characters' cultural identifiers. Another example of this would be A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Khmer. With this story, our main character, Harper, has cerebral palsy. So we have a character who has a disability, and it does talk about how it has impacted her life in the story, but that's not what the story is about. That's not the focus of the story. The story is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It just happens to have a disabled character within that story. Now let's look at a book that is Own Voices. So, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Sands. So, Aristotle and Dante is a book about two Mexican American teenage boys growing up and struggling with their identities being Mexican American, and for Ari struggling with his sexuality and being gay. Now, the author, Benjamin, is a Mexican American who is also identified as being gay. So he's able to draw on his own personal experience being from that culture to use in his work. And that's what makes it an Own Voices story. So hopefully this has helped a bit with knowing the difference between writing diverse characters and writing a story that's own voices. So let me know some of your thoughts on this topic in the comments below. And let me know what are some of your favorite stories that feature diverse characters, or some of your favorite Own Voices stories. That's it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!